Just don't do it. What's up, guys? I'm Shawn Gonzalez, and today we're going to talk about the 2020 27-inch 5K Retina iMac and if you should buy one going into 2022. Let's talk about this. So let's start off with the specs of my iMac. It's a 2020 iMac which was released last year, 27-inch 5K Retina display, 3.8 GHz, 8-core 10th generation Intel Core i7 processor with the Radeon Pro 5700 XT with 16 gigs of VRAM and 512 gigabytes of solid state storage. I bought this iMac back in December of 2020, not knowing that the new M1 iMacs were just around the corner from being released, only 3 months away. Now that I think about it, I'm debating if I should sell this iMac and upgrade to the 24-inch M1 iMac, or, hear me out, or wait for the M1 or M2 iMac Pro to be released in about 4 months from now, if that's what they're going to be called. But anyway, this iMac is beautiful. The 5K display is super sharp and crisp, and it's loaded with all the ports that you could possibly ever need. You have the headphone jack, you have the SD card slot, which is UHS 2, I believe, 4 USB-A ports, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and a gigabit Ethernet port, which I really don't use. I use the Wi-Fi. If I didn't mention it, this iMac has a newer, upgraded 1080p built-in FaceTime webcam, which is a major upgrade from the previous versions, which only had 720p in the previous iMacs. This is the late 2012 27-inch Apple iMac with the 720p built-in FaceTime web camera. This is the audio straight from the 2020 27-inch iMac, 1080p built-in FaceTime camera. Let me know what you guys think of the video quality and of the audio quality. This one looks really good, it's really sharp, and the audio sounds really good too. So what makes this Mac different from previous generations? There's only a few things that I could think of, which is a T2 security chip, which helps with video processing and encoding HEVC files, a 1080p webcam, and some minor spec bumps. This design that you see behind me has been essentially unchanged for like 9 or 10 years. It is fast, it does what I need it to do, which is video editing, only a few hiccups on the software side of things. Premiere. I don't want to get into speed tests or benchmarks because that's where you start losing a lot of people, especially new Mac users. But there's tons of videos out there that explain that better than what I can do. So make sure you look for some of those videos to get better understanding of how that stuff works. Now you're probably wondering, why would you upgrade if your iMac is less than a year old? To tell you the truth, I love this iMac. The 5K display, the screen real estate, I even love the design. Some people say it's outdated, which it really is, but it doesn't really bother me. It's got huge black bezels, but to be fair, the new M1 iMacs with the thin white bezels don't look much better. Don't get me wrong, when I first seen the new M1 iMacs, I wasn't really feeling the design, but after you look at them for a while, it kind of grows on you and it doesn't bother you as much. Especially after testing one in Best Buy in person, it was actually pretty nice. Enough about the design, but the real reason it may be a good idea to upgrade. Apple's basically discontinuing this Intel iMac and the Mac Mini on the Apple website. You're not going to be able to get them anywhere except for secondhand, maybe on eBay. In the first quarter of 2022, March, when Apple holds their event, these Intel machines are going to be nothing but a thing of the past. So this iMac is decreasing in price every single day it gets closer to the release of the new M1 or M2 Pro iMacs, if that's even what they're going to be called. From what I've seen and from what I've heard, the new MacBook Pros with the M1 Pro chips and the M1 Max chips are killing it in the laptop game right now. So I can only imagine what the new iMacs are going to be doing. It's going to be insane. Whether it's going to be a 27-inch or a 32-inch, no one knows yet. So long story short, do not buy the 2020 27-inch Intel iMac. Just don't do it. If you spec out a 24-inch M1 iMac, it's way cheaper than the Intel model. This iMac was about $3,300 last year, less than a year ago. If you spec out a 24-inch model, it definitely gives this thing a run for its money. I believe the top spec you can get for this is about $2,050 with 16 gigabytes of memory and 512 gigabytes of solid state storage. Apple always overcharges, so you're better off buying external SSDs. It's got 4 USB 4 ports, 2 which are Thunderbolt 3, and the lower tier model has 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. The base model M1 iMac still performs better than my spec'd out iMac from what I've seen. That's $3,300 versus $1,500, which is essentially half the price, and runs smoother at video editing and is faster at exporting videos. The way Apple designed these chips just baffles me on how well they perform and how optimized they really are. So I'm gonna sell this iMac, recoup as much money as I can while it's still worth something, and jump into the new M1 chip base Macs. That basically sums up this video. Do not buy Intel Macs. M1 is definitely the way to go. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. This is a brand new channel. This is the first video on the channel. I appreciate the support. Drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.